Coming up, the news that nobody wanted to hear. There have been even more WWE releases. We've got reactions, reasons, and a little bit more news coming up. So subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of the latest wrestling news.
Support WrestleTalk!
Hello and welcome to another Cursed Friday. Every time I do the news now, it feels like we're getting another set of releases. I'm actually just starting to worry whether I'm cursed. Is this my fault? Now, of course it's not. The pricks who run WWE's fault. So, yesterday, or incredibly early this morning for us here in the UK, PW Insider reported that WWE had released John Morrison, Tegan Knox, Shane Thorne, Jackson Ryker, Drake Maverick, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Top Dollar, and Ashante Adonis. Somebody put a hit out on Hit Row. What's going on? Because this is nuts. So if it's now that they've decided they didn't work as a three, I'm gonna have a aneurysm. Also conspicuous among these names is Drake Maverick, who, as we all know, went through all of this before last year. But he got offered a new contract with NXT after posting a tearful and heartfelt response to the news of his release that really sort of took off in the wrestling social media sphere. Drake and the rest joined the 18 wrestlers the company released earlier this month, 9 of which were from the main roster, meaning that 17 people overall have been cut from Raw and SmackDown in just 1 month. PW Insider's report noted that all of the talents were told budget cuts were the reason that they've been let go. How much more budget needs cut? How much? Wrestling Inc. even reportedly obtained a copy of an internal email from WWE's Axeman John Laurinaitis, which read, "Due to budgetary cuts, the following WWE talent were released today, November the 18th, 2021. John Morrison, Top Dollar, Ashante Adonis, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick, Shane Thorne, and Jackson Ryker. Thank you, John Laurinaitis." And despite how often these sorts of things are occurring now, it's never not shocking, especially as WWE continues to whittle things down, meaning that what was once this sprawling roster of stars is now just some guys. We have some guys. Andrew Zarian said that us fans aren't the only ones who are shocked. He tweeted to say that a source within the company told him many within the company were blindsided by this set of releases, before adding that he was told last week that the previous set of releases was expected to have been the last of this year. However, it was anticipated that releases will be a regular occurrence moving forward. And I would argue that you'd have to hire some people before you can realistically do that again. He was also told, unfortunately, there are a lot of all-star players who will never get a chance to get off the bench because the coach doesn't seem to know what he's doing. I can do a sports metaphor. Stupid coach. And despite the shock nature of the news, all the talent released took it with the usual grace and good humor that you would expect from proper professionals. Drake Maverick, for instance, posted another heartfelt response to his release that he then flipped on its head, creating this entire scene where he talks to an alternate version of himself who told him, "You're a success, you've always been a success, and you're gonna carry on being a success. You did everything you said you were going to do in life." He also said that his dream was never to be in WWE, but to be a professional wrestler, which WWE don't have. It's well worth a watch if you've got a spare 5 minutes, and it's shocking actually how quickly he managed to turn it around. It also earned him some big praise too, with BMJ himself, Big Match John Cena, quote retweeting it and saying, "This is worth a watch. Very well done and a very powerful message by a gifted performer." It does literally fall into John Cena's like sunset and a quote kind of Twitter profiling. Meanwhile, Shane Thorne tweeted about his own release saying, "Oi, who gave them my number? And I thought I was retired." Potentially referencing the disappearing act he pulled when Slapjack and the rest of Retribution got pulled from screens. Slapjack sooner than others. But inevitably, the news also brought out the sad little goblins who live in the internet, and this guy who tweeted Top Dollar saying, "Good luck with your BS attitude like you're punk or something. I'd save some of them cans from your food drive." Oh, it's still real to him, damn it. Sadly, the same realness he does not apply to reality and kindness. Top Dollar managed to put him in his place though, saying, "This guy took the time to tell me, a former NFL player, to save some canned food from my drive tomorrow for the homeless in an attempt to look cool on the internet. Embarrass him, please. Don't be a dick." It's really simple. It's like the one rule on the internet. Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. And I think the thing with this is that even if you are an ultra-capitalist and you believe that all of this is just business and that if there are cuts that need to be made, they have to be made, this isn't the way to foster any belief in your product from fans or the current staff, as John Alba wrote on Twitter, saying, typically back in the day, WWE would release talent who sat on the sidelines and weren't featured much. But we're in a territory now where the company is actively releasing talent who are consistently on television. How can fans invest in talent knowing that this routinely happens? I think that's precisely true. Not only are the fans being disincentivized to invest in talent like, I don't know, Hit Row, because especially with this newer talent who seem more readily lined up for the chopping block, which now becomes counterintuitive to the reported backstage direction for WWE's talent directive. Find these newer, younger guys, but what's the point in investing in them if they're the people who are first out the door? But the other weird thing is it's also creating a working environment in which talent, even if they're being featured on a weekly basis, they've got strong storylines going on and they get good feedback, they still are feeling this sword of Damocles hanging over them at all times. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. WWE are creating an environment in which the people who work there are likely going to want to get out before they're pushed. And also, if you have a budget deficit to make up, surely, I don't know, you counted it so that you know, if you use math, you could work out how many people you had to release and then you could just release them all in one big go rather than this sort of like piecemeal cycle of weekly cuts. One big set of releases would create less of a stir. Because don't get me wrong, like on an entirely cynical level, we get more news to cover if you do them like this because of this system. But good Lord, I can't imagine working inside WWE right now, just waiting for the grim ace, John, to come round with his email about budget cuts. And I think Taya Valkyrie, John Morrison's wife, who herself was released earlier this month, summed it up quite nicely, saying, stop supporting a company that has zero respect for their talent. You love pro wrestling, spend your money on the hundreds of other alternatives. This is wrong. Ethically, as employers, they don't care about us, talent or fans. Now, I'm not sure that that can be true in its entirety, but perception is reality in a lot of cases, and WWE could definitely be doing more to make the fans feel listened to and the talent actually wanted. So anyway, on to other wrestling matters, because I suppose we need those to round out the video. And in another brilliant business move, we're now 3 days out from one of their big four pay-per-views, WWE did decide to do all this latest round of releases, thus swallowing most of the hype for their Survivor Series show. The bloomin' Egypt. Anyway, as Roman Reigns does the media rounds to hype the show and build his match against WWE champion Big E, he stopped by The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and was asked outright whether he knew if The Rock would be making an appearance, which is something that has been rumoured for a long time in the hopes of building their eventual WrestleMania bout. And also to mark the anniversary of The Rock's debut in WWE. Now, Roman, consummate professional, did not just spill the beans like so much dog food, he instead played dumb, saying, "These are rumours, you say? I have not heard these rumours, and I would think I'm closer than anybody at this point. That's not what I heard." But I also debuted at Survivor Series as well, so there's a nice little tie-in there. So yeah, what you're saying is a doubly-wobbly celebration. That's what you're talking about, isn't it, Roman? Meanwhile, WWE have had criticism from all sides, including their former music department, as former composer Jim Johnston laid into them on the RRBG podcast, saying that there are no breakout stars in the company anymore because WWE is not putting the right combination of factors together to create them. Believing that there is a lot of potential in the WWE roster, Johnston said, "I feel so sorry for the current crop of talent there. I feel like they're being served so inadequately and so poorly. There are no breakout stars because they're not putting the right combination of things together to create stars. I am sure there are stars there. I am absolutely confident. I remind everybody, before Steve broke out and became one of the biggest stars in the game, he was the ringmaster. He was a pretty low-card player. Do any of these factors that WWE isn't doing include not having a job? Because otherwise, Jim, I think things have got worse. To hop the fence very quickly, an update on a story from earlier in the week about Kenny Omega, the former AEW World Champion, who was said to be struggling with a number of minor injuries and issues throughout the latter part of his run with a title. It was reported earlier this week by PW Insider that Omega would likely be undergoing surgery primarily on his shoulders, which had been an issue for some time. But in addition to this report, Dave Meltzer noted on the latest Wrestling Observer Radio that Omega is in fact dealing with multiple injuries, including his knees, abdominals, and a hernia. Omega also revealed recently that he's been wrestling with vertigo for 3 years. That is mental. Meltzer added Omega will likely need multiple surgeries for his various injuries, but was not able to say when those surgeries would be or how long they're going to keep him out of the ring. But hopefully, Omega, you make a speedy recovery. And to everyone who was just released from WWE, I wish you all of the best. Keep doing what you're doing. Jam that jam, guys.
He's really confused about who he's speaking for at any one point.
I'm picking for 2 right now.
Okay, which means it's me next, isn't it? Christmas Day. Who do you pick now?
See, he's just looking at the Wikipedia page. He's not.
That's what I was thinking.
He's not got a list like Pete has.
Yeah,
that's why Pete's better.
Yeah.